Good evening, classmates. Here we are for our week 3 discussion. And in looking at all of the different assistive technologies on that PowerPoint, I actually decided that I would like to talk about Zearn because it's a program that I am really familiar with, not only as a teacher, but also as a parent. And when looking at some of the questions that it said to consider about each of the tools, so Zearn is accessible on all devices. At school, our kiddos can access it on their Chromebooks. And if they are at home and they don't have their Chromebooks with them, but they know their login information for their Cloud Connect, they can access it from a home laptop or desktop as well. Zearn is relevant to our content and subject matter. So the cool thing about Zearn is it actually follows all of the lessons that are in the modules that we're learning or teaching that correspond to our Eureka math curriculum. Is it user-friendly for children? It sure is. Is it user-friendly for teachers? Yes, it is. And can the software be used to accommodate diverse learners? And I think that it can be. So I think the way that it can be used to accommodate diverse learners is that you can actually bookmark lessons. So if you have some students who maybe need some more support, you can have them work on bookmarked lessons that could cover the content of either cover the content that you will be teaching in class ahead of time, so kind of front loading that information on them, or it can also be used to help support them in the event that they are maybe like struggling with the content. So let's see here. The rest of the prompt just says to mention the tool that you selected and the subject area you are interested in enhancing. So the tool is Zearn, and that is a math program that is used, I guess it could be viewed both as an assistive technology and just a supplemental program as well. How and when I would use it would be, I guess in particular, if I'm looking at one of my focus students, the focus student who I am thinking about, he is a student who has an IEP. So he takes his math lessons, so his problem set and his exit ticket, and he completes that with an education specialist in the Learning Center at our school. So when we are doing our whole lesson as a class, as a whole group, he's working in a smaller group with an education specialist just based on his focus. Although he's bright, he just has a lot of attention, things that kind of make it harder for him to really engage in the math during our instruction. So it's better for him to go and work in a much smaller group and have a lot of, or any distractions kind of be mitigated for him. So what I have him do when he returns back to the classroom, we're normally still involved in our lesson. So I have him work on Zearn. And when he's doing that, he is working on that individually. So it's individual practice. Generally speaking, he can work on Zearn at home as well, which I do encourage all of my students to do. But that also is just an individual practice at home as well. So it can be individual practice in the classroom and at home. I think that it's beneficial to use, so it says explain why you think it would be beneficial to use when making accommodations, providing students with opportunities to practice skills and or reinforce learning. So the accommodations part of this, really, I think in terms of my focus student that I'm talking about, there aren't really accommodations that are being made for him. It's more of supporting his learning based on the accommodations that he needs to complete his math set and his math exit ticket. However, I do view this as a way to make accommodations for students as a whole if they are maybe struggling with a topic or a unit, because what you're able to do is bookmark those lessons for them to give them more practice. So I look at Zearn as more of an opportunity to practice their skills and reinforce their learning. And like I said, it's a great tool for either a focus student or a whole class. And I do like to give all of my students the opportunity to have time to do Zearn throughout the week. Typically, they get the most time when we have either like a topic quiz or a mid-module exam. I let them know that early finishers can just hop on Zearn to reinforce that learning. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a great tool, not only from the perspective of a teacher, but also from a parent. And yeah, I really like it. Thanks, you guys.